So now we know all about slope, and we are going to look at slope-intercept form, which is the way that we graph probably most often in this class, and probably the one that you're most comfortable with having taken MA 101 previously. So again, just as a reminder, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. Slope we typically will write as a fraction. And the y-intercept is b, and typically we're going to think of that as the point 0, b. So keep in mind that it's 0, b because a lot of people end up putting the y-intercept on the x-axis, which would make it an x-intercept and also make it really wrong. The steps that we're going to go through is to start by plotting the y-axis and then just use our slope, which we've talked about before, to go up or down and then right or left based on what our slope is. So let's look at one of those together. First thing I'm going to do here with my equation, y equals 2/3 x minus 2, is I'm going to talk about what's m and what's b. Minus 2 is b. And minus 2 tells me that my very first point is that I want to graph the point 0, negative 2. This point right here. That's where my graph starts. So even if I know slope and I'm really good at slope, if I don't put the first point in the right spot, my entire graph is wrong. So first thing I'm going to do is graph the point 0, negative 2 because b was negative 2. Then I'm going to create 2 or more additional points, typically, using the slope. So from there I'm going to move, because it's 2/3, 2/3 is rise over run. That tells me I'm going to move 2 units up, 3 units right. 2 units up because that's rise, so I'm going to go up 2, and then run of 3, 1, 2, 3, and put a point. And keep in mind, it's okay to keep going. So I can go up another 2 over another 3, which actually takes me off my graph. Or remember that 2 over 3 is the same as negative 2 over negative 3 because those negatives would cancel and make it positive 2/3 again, which means I could go down 2 to the left 3, and as we can see, that would still be on the same line. So let me get rid of all this other riffraff. Connect the dots, and that is what my graph would look like. So here are 2 more for us to try together. First one I'm going to do in purple. And this one says start at +1 on the y-axis. Again, we always start on the y. Why? Because I said so. And then we have a slope here of negative 3/4, which is my rise over run. So it's important that I use that negative 3. So notice it's out here. I wrote it on the top, which tells me to go down 3 to the right 4. So negative 3, 4 would give me that point. Or remember, I could also do positive 3, negative 4, but remember I just have one negative, so I have to use it either on the top or the bottom. That would give me up 3 and then to the left 4, which would again be on the same line. So my first one, looks like this. For my second one, let's use green. This one's a little bit different than the others. So notice there's no b, and when there's no b, we just think of it as +0. So that's actually where I'm going to start, is at 0. And also notice that my slope is 4, and how is that going to look for rise over run? Well, 4 written as a fraction is 4 over 1, because it's 4 wholes. So I'm going to use 4, up 2, 3, 4, over 1. Very steep line. Or, remember, this is the same as negative over negative, so down 4 to the left 1. And then I'm going to connect the dots, get rid of that other silly stuff that I write in there. So that would be my second line. Here's one for you to try on your own, so press pause, graph this equation, then press play to see how you did. Again, you should be graphing these by hand and not just plugging them into a graphing utility. So here I would start with positive 4 on the y-axis, and my slope is negative 2 over 3, or 2 over negative 3. Now I wouldn't want to use 2 over negative 3 because I can't really go up 2, I'm already off my graph. So I'm just going to use negative 2, 3 to go down 2 to the left 3. And then if I really want 3 points, which typically we do, I'm going to go down 2 to the left 3 again, even though I'm just a touch off my graph. And then I'm going to connect the dots to make my line.